Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's the Weekend Roundup. The PlayStation 5 has been all the rage after its reveal last week when we finally got to see the console along with some exclusives. Now we're starting to see analysts and industry insiders weigh in on who they think will win the next generation console war and what the new machines might cost. Yeah, and I know console wars might be a little passé these days, but there's no doubt that Sony and Microsoft, they're still direct competitors with both companies trying to put out graphically advanced machines to play AAA games. That's what a video game console is. I don't know why I had to spell it out like that. All right, but who is going to win the next generation? It's not too late to make some predictions, right? Well, an early one comes from the UK-based research firm Ampere Analysis. Its research director for games, Piers Harding Rolls, that's the most upper-class UK name ever, says he expects the PS5 to beat the Xbox Series X, similar to how the PS4 came out on top this generation. It's going to start slow, but Harding Rolls said he projects the PS5 to sell 4.6 million units this year compared to just 3.3 million for the Xbox Series X. But as the years go by, he expects the PS5 to widen its lead, selling 66 million units by the end of 2024 compared to 37 for the Xbox Series X, so almost twice as much. Now, that being said, he thinks Microsoft is in a better spot this time than it was last generation, when you might remember that it really bungled the rollout of the Xbox One. This time, though, Harding Rolls points out that Microsoft has invested heavily in its first-party studios and generally adopted more gamer-focused initiatives. I think that's accurate. But he thinks that ultimately, Sony will be too much to overcome, saying that its lineup of exclusives and PlayStation's global brand allegiance are especially hard to dismantle. Overall, though, he says the console market is shrinking. He pointed out that back in the day, the combined lifetime sales of Sony and Microsoft consoles, it actually peaked with the first Xbox and the PS2. They sold 179 million units combined, but the PS4 and the Xbox One sold quite a bit less, 157 million. So it's dropping, but it's still viable. Meanwhile, when it comes to the price of the next generation of consoles, others have argued that $500, probably the ceiling we're looking at. Former Xbox marketing head Albert Pinello tweeted recently that there's, quote, no way the PlayStation 5 will cost over $499. It sounds like they learned their lesson from the PS3. Just say that's probably a good prediction. Meanwhile, our old buddy Harding Rolls expects them to sell in the $450 to $500 range. One more data point to talk about. Well, I should use the word data in quotes here. On Friday, a purported leaked page from Amazon France showed the PS5 allegedly costing €499, with the digital edition costing €399, with a release date of November 20th of this year. All that sounds pretty feasible, but then an Amazon France spokesperson told TechRadar, nope, it was a fake. The page, not real. Still though, you gotta figure it's somewhere in that $500 range, and then Microsoft will be like, ours is just $480, what a deal, buy ours. All right, we'll get to the rest of the news in a second, but first, let's talk about Keeps. Guys, did you know 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. Guess what? The best way to prevent hair loss, do something about it while you still have hair left. If it's all gone, you want to get on it as soon as you can. You used to have to go to the doctor's office for your hair loss prescription. Now, thanks to Keeps, you can visit a doctor online, get hair loss medication delivered right to your home. Keeps also offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. You may have tried them before, not for this price, though. Find out why Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors, and nearly 100,000 men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention medication. Keeps treatments start at just $10 a month, plus for a limited time, you can get your first month for free. All right. So here's what you need to do. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to Keeps, KEEPS.com/roundup to get your first month of treatment for free. You can't beat that. That's KEEPS.com/roundup to get your first month of treatment for free. And thank you very much to Keeps. All right, on to the rest of the news. We got a lot of new game announcements at the EA Play 2020 event, which they held this week. Of course, the big news, Skate 4, it's finally happening. Yes, the game that we've been asking for years, that we've been harassing everyone about, is a thing. Well, it sounds early in the process. Seems a little Metroid Prime 4 at this point, but hey, we willed it into existence, guys. We did it. So that was the headline. Also announced a lot of other stuff though. Apex Legends is coming to Switch this fall. The Sims 4 now out on Steam. Joseph Fares is making another co-op game called It Takes Two about two dolls coming to life. They also announced an EA Originals brand game. It's called Lost in Random. Has some sort of magical talking dice, looked kind of cool. The 3v3 arena game Rocket Arena releases July 14th, and we got to look at some gameplay for Star Wars Squadron. That was the great looking dogfighting game that releases October 6th. It sounds weird when I say it that way, dogfighting game. You don't fight actual dogs. It's X-Wings versus TIE Fighter. You know what I'm talking about. Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed again. In a tweet, CD Projekt Red said they're bumping the release date back 2 months. It's now going to release November 19th. Good news though, they said it's finished, both content and gameplay wise. Well, then why aren't they just releasing it? Oh, they need more time for balancing and fixing bugs and polish. They elaborated a little bit more in a tweet. They said the quests, the cutscenes, the skill and items, all the adventures Night City has to offer, it's all there. But with such an abundance of content and complex systems interweaving with each other, we need to properly go through everything, balance game mechanics, and fix a lot of bugs. A huge world means a huge number of things to iron out, and we will spend the additional time doing exactly that, aka crunching the shit out of our employees. Also, a little bit of a humble brag there. Our game's just too massive and awesome. We just need more time, guys. It's too amazing. It's not our fault. You also got to figure the lockdowns due to COVID-19 probably played a factor too. Bit of a bummer, but if it's a huge game like they're saying, and it is, get it right. We'd rather you get it right. Nintendo is shaking a disappointed finger at all y'all who have been selling Animal Crossing villagers. Bad. Trying to get that Rayman the easy way. But yeah, the practice has been kind of common for people who want to get their own Dom or Audie, or yes, the fancy cat Raymond in their village in New Horizon. But the news site JCast News, they asked Nintendo about the practice, and as you can imagine, they are not pleased. The Nintendo rep said they're aware of the practice where people sell villagers or items for real-life currency, but they warned that doing that is against the terms of service. They also said they're even considering taking action against a Dom seller that JCast wrote about. Way to be a snitch, JCast. All right, that might be taking it a little bit too far, Nintendo. I'm just saying, let's just y'all don't have to be involved in everything. Get back to shutting down ROM sites. Just kidding, leave them alone too. And this last story, it's very near and dear to my heart, guys, because it involves an old episode of The Simpsons back when I was young and I still had hope. You might remember almost 25 years ago, that's literally before all of y'all were born, there was an episode in season 7 where Bart really wanted a game called Bone Storm, but it was super violent, and instead for Christmas, he got Lee Carvelo's putting challenge. Well, the internet finally came through, and grad student Aaron Dementer actually made a playable version of Lee Carvelo's putting challenge. It's great. It looks and sounds exactly like the original. It went viral after it got a shout out from the Simpsons showrunner Bill Oakley. Dementer told thegolfchannel.com, I love that they interviewed him, that it's already been downloaded and played 132,000 times. He said the response has been unimaginable. So yeah, give it a try. Bust out that 3-wood. Of course, select Power Drive. All right, let's do a 5-second review. Dang, that girl is mad. Like, real mad. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. The cult classic is back, faithfully remade in sponge-tastic splendor. I love some of this copy. Play as SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy and show the evil plankton that crime pays even less than Mr. Krabs. Want to save Bikini Bottom from lots of rampant robots with your mighty bubbles? Of course you do. Come on. It's SpongeBob. Of course you want to save everybody. Do you want to join forces in a brand new multiplayer mode? The battle is on. Play as SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. Use their unique sets of skills. This is described as a faithful remake of one of the best SpongeBob games ever. It's got high-end visuals, modern resolution, and polished gameplay. Restored content that was cut from the original game, like the Robo Squidward boss fight. It's back. It's in this version. It comes to the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch June 23rd. Next up, Ninjala, an online action battle game. Featuring ninja and gum. Assume the role of a modern-day ninja. Take part in the Ninjala tournament. Use ninja gum to blow bubbles that can be tossed at your foes. Craft all sorts of weapons. Dash across stages. The appearance and variety of your weapons will vary depending on the type of ninja gum you use. Take part in Battle Royale style matches of up to 8 players and vie for supremacy with ninja around the world. The player who earns the most points over the course of the match will be declared the winner. Yep, that's how winners work. Score points by defeating your opponents, obtaining items, destroying drones positioned across the stage, and more. It comes to the Switch June 24th. Inspired by the cinematic lore of Blair Witch, experience a new story-driven psychological horror game that studies your reactions to fear and stress. Your darkest fears will be awakened in these woods. It's 1996. I remember that year. A young boy disappears in the Black Hills forest near Burkittsville, Maryland. As Ellis, a former police officer with a troubled past, you join the search. But what starts as an ordinary investigation soon turns into an endless nightmare as you confront your fears and the Blair Witch, a mysterious force that haunts the woods. From the creative minds behind the critically acclaimed Layers of Fear, experience firsthand the toll that fear can take on the mind in an original story, of course, inspired by the lore of Blair Witch. It comes to the Switch June 25th, and last, but certainly not least, the popular action puzzle game Mr. Driller Drill Land makes its Western debut. Alright, you're invited to a secret amusement park known as Drill Land, 500 meters underground. Okay, because there's a drill involved. Explore and conquer the 5 attractions with simple yet exciting gameplay that guests of all ages can enjoy. Dig your way to victory. Each of the 5 attractions in Drill Land features their own set of unique gameplay rules. Can you dig your way through each attraction and defeat the final boss? It comes to PC and Switch June 25th. Guys, that's all the news we've got for you this week. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Friday. Let's cheer for finally getting to see the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, put some gusto into it, Evan.